kuke ji a yanzu akan tasha ta Duduspree FM domin kayata nishadi a ƙasar Afirka. Kar ku canza, a tsaya cak a tashar. Kemike Duduspree FM baken pondon ku bon kemendi senfo.
This is Duduspree FM, Pan-African Radio.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to today's episode of African Youth Parliament. It is always a pleasure to say it is wonderful to have you here today. On African Youth Parliament, we always talk about things in Africa that most people avoid. But first, a very big thank you to Duduspree from the first and only truly Pan-African Radio for this wonderful opportunity. Because it is only with Duduspree that we can have this opportunity. And we say a very big thank you. And to everybody who is listening to us live on Duduspree FM, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you there for us. And to everybody watching us live on YouTube right now, I say a very big thank you. To everybody on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, wherever you are listening to us right now, we say a very big thank you. This is African Youth Parliament, and this is Duduspree Media House. So, and I am your honorable host, Damai. For the past week, we've been discussing things. In fact, today is part 7 of this conversation. We've been talking about colonialism in Africa, the effect of colonialism. For many years now. After we were colonized, we had a change in the ways we do things, in the ways we experience things. We had a change in our lifestyle, in our life setting. Every aspect of our lives was affected one way or the other, and it was affected tangibly. The way we lived before we were colonized is now very different from how we live. Only very few people are able to conserve and reserve and live that life they used to live before, the positive aspect. So, but today we're not here to talk about how bad colonialism is. We're just here to compare how we lived before and how we live now. We're here to see why we should continue this way or why we should just look over it. You know, colonialism is wonderful in the way it has been, but it has left so many scars. They've brought good things in, but they've taken many good things out too. But you will be the judge, you really want to talk about it. I'm just here to listen to what you have to say, and at the end of the day, just give a closing speech on that. I'll give you what I have in mind, and you give me what you have in mind. And today, we are happy to have some people in the house. Welcome you, ajokeade, family you are. Wow. So it is so good to have you in the house. And Saifa Ilerioluwa Omohoba. It is so good to have you in the house. So today, while we're expecting others to join us too, so today we're having a conversation, a discussion, we can almost call it a debate, on the health sector, effect of colonialism on Africa, on the African continent. So we're talking about the health sector today. The health sector of Africa has suffered brutality too. The health sector of Africa has changed too in a way. And so, has it changed for better? Has it changed for worse? It is not for me to say, it is for you to say. So, and we also like to point it out that there was a certain way the health sector functioned. There's a certain way the health sector was before time, before the colonialism. But after the colonialism, everything changed. What about the health of the people, how people lived, how people treated themselves, the kind of medications they used, the kind of things they used to treat themselves, and everything all around that, how it was before and how it is now. You know, I can point out that we were not using tablets and injections and syringes and those things now. I can point out that the way people, the kind of drugs people used before is not the same kind of drugs they use now. I can point out verily that the kind of sicknesses we are battling then are not the kinds of sicknesses we are battling now. I can even point out that the frequency of getting sick then is not the same frequency we get sick now. And ultimately, our life expectancy has changed. The age, the number of years we used to live before is not the number of years we live now. And even if you see a 70 years old man, you can see that this man is old compared to before, where a 70 years old man can still probably go on walks and jog and even ride bicycle and still work on his farm. So this health sector is another aspect we need to touch. We can understand that every part of Africa has been affected, and we have been picking it one after the other, from our education system to our dressing to the kind of food we eat. And you will notice that the kind of food we eat affects our health, which we treated last week, and that is why we're coming on health today. So every part of Africa has been touched in one way or the other, and that is what we're here to discuss today. We are not just here to talk about it, we're also here to provide and proffer solutions, suggest solutions, what governments could do. And it doesn't depend on the government, it depends on you too. What can you do to change the world? Where the change you want to see. Change starts with me and you. Dudu's Free has come with the offer of change. It is left to you to accept it. So on this case now, on this note, I would like to invite the first speaker for the day. So Saifa Legioluwa, what would you like to say about this? The effect of colonialism on Africa. So the health sector. So what is going on in the health sector in Africa now? Is it better than it used to be? Or is it worse? The kind of drugs we take, the effects of the drugs, the aftermath of the drugs, the kind of sicknesses we face, the effect of these sicknesses, how these sicknesses are treated, and what do you think about it in general? Let us say what you have to say, and after this we'll go to ajokeade. So Saifa Legioluwa, thank you. Let us have what you want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It's a pleasure having me here today. Talking about the effect of colonization on health, it has really gone a long way, because when we talk about these health issues, to me, I feel as if it's every day we come to the notice of outbreak of virus and disease, new diseases, new viruses every day. And I was like, wait, is this the way it was during my forefathers' time? Is this the way it was every day? New this, new that one. And someone said, I asked someone about this about 3 days ago, and during this, is there anything like untimely death, can you come really school, can you come virus? And they were like, according to spirituality, then there's some things we don't do, like deforestation. There are some trees we don't cut down. We believe that there are some spirits that live in them. But nowadays, these things have been cut down. So the spirits will find a way to live, or find a place to live rather. So they are living in some people's body. And like, is that true? And it's a particular point that I picked. We said, according to Yoruba culture, for instance, a pregnant woman is not supposed to work at midday and at midnight. And nowadays, even people you see their parents working in midday, they don't care about the time. And they say these things happen to them, like a lot of things happen to them. And why are we not considering this fact? And okay, be abiku, obi abiku, like nígbà yẹn, there's nothing like SS. If I right and correct too. My father don't like, we're not be SSS, SS Pro Max, 14 Pro Max. All you know is, are these people eligible? Can they marry or can they not? So they'll see the results if possible. But now, a lot of tests, a lot of things we do every day. And if it comes to we think about it, we now pay a lot of money just to take care of our health issue. I was watching a man giving a feedback about his trip in India. He said when he went there, he was sick, and they took care of him. He did not pay a dime until he was okay. I'm like, but in Nigeria, even if it's 10K that it will cost for a surgery, it's until you pay that money before the person before the person will receive the normal treatment, even if the person will die. What is going on? Are these people, these doctors, are they saving lives or they are taking lives? That's if we are now using this issue of Shogun Ibo matter, as if you in some other ways is because you won't say because of money you won't treat someone and you call yourself a lifesaver. That is totally bad. And this drugs issue, there are a lot of drugs every day. Every day, let me share you hear kinu con them, kinu con share kinu con. There was I was even telling the host that, do you know that our forefathers, when you are sick, and you say, but me, only for me, they ask you, there's a particular leaf. Only the leaf is like mentor. The forehead, it actually works like apoliki, all those balm, and it's a leaf. Like is what they will give you. But when you consult the pharmacist, they'll give you drugs. And what you not tell you is, if symptoms persist after 7 days, please consult a doctor, because they are not sure if it will work. So a lot of these things have actually, like this you using foreign treatment and drugs. Okay, now they have àwọn oògùn tí wọ́n ṣe fún ọmọ kékeré bí káwọn ọmọ kékeré máa lò bí codeine, coughlin. So now some people are not taking it as for like emotional, like normal thing. Like some take drugs every day. If you ask them, you don't know, codeine, she'll sick, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. I look at low pills. Then overdose, there's overdose usage one fún oògùn òyìnbó, but kò sí overdose ní oògùn ìbílẹ̀. Tí ó bá jẹ ewúro jù, orí ẹ̀ máa pa, possible. But there are a lot of overdose in this foreign treatment, and a lot of things is really changing though, because tí a bá wò pé ṣe bí àwọn kan yìí ni àwọn kan lò tí ara wọn yẹ ṣe bí tó bá fẹ́ ya scan òun ló ń lò. Ṣe láti one thing ní ọ̀dọ̀ ìyá mi gbàtí mo lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn, this woman actually she do nǹkan ìbílẹ̀. My mommy said tí ọmọ fẹ́ wo scan fún aláboyún ní ìbílẹ̀, there's a particular object and mirror tó máa lò tẹ́ pé ó máa wo ọmọ yẹn live in the mirror. Ó máa yí ọmọ yẹn, ó máa ṣe scan fún kékeré like aláboyún tó wà ní oyún ìyá ẹ̀. So it's not that àwọn kìíní wà effective, but because our new youth, about myself, youth, they feel like these things are demonic and so they have targeted the name. If you can just go back to the time of Ikwe, instead of you quickly taking this drug and combining, see, like, okay, even nowadays, the next thing is paracetamol, but it's not every that attracts paracetamol, because only people there are different type of orififo. If you ask Yorubas, like me, my name was but I know that there are different type of orififo. So, but as you believe, every orififo is paracetamol. So if you can, I'm thinking what we can do is the regular user, like even if it's small spoon, kò ṣe gbogbo ìgbà ni a máa lo oògùn ìbílẹ̀ àbí oògùn òyìnbó. You can just kí ló ṣe àyíbá take this thing. Someone said something yesterday that níbi àwọn pastor kí ló máa lo ká máa lo àgbo, they'll tell you it's bad, it's demonic, ìṣe kíní kan, which is a lie, because àwọn náà ń lò. It's in the Bible, of course. Ọlọ́run dá orí àtẹ̀gbò fún lílo ọmọ aráyé. It is there, but kò fẹ́ ká máa lò ní. So let me just set my case down. Honorary Speaker, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Ileri Oluwa. I really appreciate that. It is good to have you speak. It is good to listen to you, and I appreciate that. So now, we would like to look at it also from this dimension. This is a question, it is an highlight too. You see that the way we even use the kind of medications we use now these days, they are foreign majorly. Over 90% of them are foreign. And now the problem is, the question is it that we are not capable of rebranding the kind of medication we used to use before, of making it work faster, because some even work faster than the so-called tablet. Though many people have said, no, that if you just use an injection, everything, it goes straight to your bloodstream, and we have medications that can actually work a lot faster than that, or as fast as that can, according to research. So is it that we are unable to rebrand our own and repackage it and represent it? We can present it in another form that will be so, wonderful. But also now we also have to consider the fact that medication is best used and as it at its most medieval state, at its most simplest state. By the time you refine, repackage, put preservatives and all those things, it will affect the person taking the medication at the end of the day. It might have little effect, but at the end of the day, at the long run, the effect will be bigger than that. But also, if we look at it from this other angle, people majorly, whenever I talk about things like this, African medication, what people go to is always, the men who take drugs to perform better in the bedroom. That is what they always like. All these alumo bitters, all these bitters and gyms and bitters and gyms. And when I did my research, I realized that most of these companies are not even African companies. Some of them might have companies here, right here, yes. But also, the reason why that is what we sell the most is because that is what people are exposed to. Everybody does the business that works. Anything that brings in money is what they do. But now you understand, we have all this yalagbo of a thing. We have all these people who can tell you that, yeah, we buy Nikodo, we buy Nikolo, we buy Nikoja, we buy Nikoja, and so on and so forth. So, so now these are people that have this intelligence, but some of the times they don't. The people feel like these people is either they are, they are not, they are against your religion, or they are one thing or the other, but they are not just touch enough for you. You understand? But also, we now look at the effect that it is having in the community, the lack of natural people that can actually treat us. I'm not talking about doctors and nurses now. So the lack of people that can actually treat you, like you got a gunshot wound now and you need someone to treat you, because if you go to the hospital, they will tell you you need a police report before they can touch you. So, but now looking for people that can actually treat you, or that they could call out bullets from your body. We don't have those things anymore. So it is not like we're forgetting African health sector, like the original way Africa treats people. So we're now replacing all that with the way these Europeans treat their own people, and that is what we have adopted. Is it that our own form of health sector, our own form of health care is inferior to their own? So now, to answer these questions and to express our knowledge on this, let's call on our next speaker, ajokeade. Ajokeade, please, want to hear what you have to say about this. Please step up to the mic. Thank you very much, ajokeade.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody in the parliament today. It's a great day to be alive and to be in the midst of sound minds. It is not popular, but it is something that the whole world needs. The rise of Africa is the rise of the whole world. I'm beginning to ruminate, and I discovered that Africa is the only continent that can survive without everybody. Africa can survive. It's the only continent that can survive, feed itself, treat itself, heal itself, rule itself, communicate with divinity by itself without the input of any foreign body. Go to other nations, they still come to Africa to either look for cobalt, for tin, for iron, for silver, for mercury, for gold, for diamond, for crude oil. We've got all these and much more. Everything we have on the continent of Africa, they have somewhat, somewhere. But I will tell you that there are things we have that they will never, can never, and may never have. So when the white man came to Africa, to be precise, the tropics, they died of malaria. So why is it that today they are now the ones giving us malaria medication? Then something is wrong somewhere. When they came, they knew no jack about this medicine. Even when you are talking about injection, the Yoruba equivalent for injection is abere, and abere came from the word bere, sing bere. So when you are talking about making incisions on the body to give medication, started in Yoruba land. So when I see people now saying that mi ò kí ń gba abẹ́rẹ́, mo lè sín gbẹ́rẹ́, that means you don't know the history. This abẹ́rẹ́ even started from us. So when we are talking about the contemporary medicine, if you know the history of medicine in Europe and America, you will be disgusted, because we knew what they did with the late Washington. Is in the history. We can just Google it. Before, the whites believed that when you are sick, they will drain the whole of your body to remove the old disease. That's their own placebo. And many of them died through that process. So going back in retrospect, something happened to us. We were cut off development. And that is the effect of colonialism on Africa. So right now we are dealing with the effect of colonialism subjugated under neo-colonialism. Let me throw a shot at the present president in Nigeria, Baba Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They wanted to deregulate the oil sector, doing well. But you will see that they would still go back to the whites to help them. That's what they've been doing. They can do no jack. They can do no jack without, like begging and, pleading with these aliens to help them deal with their problems. What caused a forward-thinking government to now say that all the petrochemical engineers in the so-called Nigeria, if you don't have sound mind in Nigeria, go to the neighboring country, Ghana, Ethiopia, Kenya, Cameroon, move around Africa, but until you see our leaders have inferiority complex, that is why the likes of Bill Gates can come on our land and they will be passing bills that will make them bring out organs from a living human beings. When in their own land, for them to actually bring out organs, the person has to be brain dead. Brain dead. That means the nervous system will not be functional. That is why they will be exporting. Put it to them. They have decided to demonize our own medicine because they don't want us to develop. It has a lot to do with our mindset. It has a lot to do with, I did not even know we would be doing this today, but I guess there's a way the Irumolers will guide some of us in the way to go. About 2 weeks ago, I started with ephedrine. So when I feel headache, I pluck 3 leaves and I eat it. Voila, the headache leaves. Gaskia. Now, 2 weeks ago now, and I started with the lemongrass leaves. Those who came around, they took it. It's because I was taking it in my house. Lemongrass. Then I got some other herbs that are gotten from the eastern part of Nigeria, the Igbo land to be precise. And that is what I take it every morning with the ephedrine. Now, what I discovered this afternoon before coming on air was the color of my urine was no longer, that yellowish colored urine that you normally have, and you'll be wondering, ṣé mo ní ibà lára ni? The fact that of this whole story is the fact that the aphrodisiac can actually be overdosed. So many people have died because of it. We have the research reports, and sometimes they say they want lumagun. But when you check the autopsy, we discovered that the heart low pack up at that time. And the person wanted to talk when you're on the bed in the other room. It happened to one of my grand uncles. So that's why I'm just talking about this, who happened to be a politician in Ekiti. So it became viral at that time, not to my joy, but these are some of the things that happened. So then another case is the fact that young men in their 40s, if they've started using these alomovitas in their 20s, in their 40s, most of them end up with kidney diseases and kidney stones. You know, all these things, they are in the report right now. So taking it further, the person is to let us know that every medication has a level of poison. Every medication is a poison in itself, and to come out of it is to remove the poison. And going forward, we must put our own medications under clinical researches, get what works for what, when, and how. And if the methodological of the Oyinbos is not working for us, let us have our own yardstick. There's always a concept that is called the constant K for everything in nature, which our forefathers we call AWO. The constant K that causes the equilibrium, the yin yang in Chinese. So we must work on it, and let us stop deceiving ourselves. Something happened to my son yesterday night. He was hiccuping. Biologically, I knew that when he's hiccuping, it has been proven, we did it, we practicalize it, and everybody can do it. If somebody is hiccuping, if you tell the person, any surprise, we stop the hiccuping, because the connection between the brain and the diaphragm below the belly, you know, the lungs, there's a way that you stop it, and the hiccup will stop. So my son was hiccuping, and I told my husband, I'm going to practicalize this thing, and you see it's going to stop. So my son was coming, hiccup, and I just shouted, surprise. So, and the boy, you know, he shivered and the hiccup. So I said, you should work for your hiccup. He said, it worked. Mama, it worked. So the next time he was hiccup, he said, I should do it for him. I said, since you knew what I would do, it's not going to work. So I have to look for another thing to make you, you know, that is science. Science has proven that, and I can actually practicalize it anywhere in the world with any human species, and it will work. So right now, our medication is still in the primitive stage where we cannot prove some things. I was in a seminar, and we're talking about a war, talking about all these things and that. And there are some things that are being told that you can't actually sell in the market because it cannot be proven. It has a lot to do with our mindset. If you believe it, it's going to affect you, and it will. In fact, I became scared because as far as even when somebody says negative words or wish you negativity, that can happen to you. So when people, so like all these things, it makes us scared and try to avoid this whole thing about our medication. But it starts with our mindset. The Oyinbos used to have it too. They overcame it. We would not overcome until we rise and we are intentional. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, ajokeade. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to hear you speak. And indeed, yes, I am sure Olodumare has inspired us. A lot to inspire us. So, because as I yesterday, I wanted us to discuss. No, as at Thursday, I wanted us to discuss something different. But I just felt like, no, we should do this one. So now on this health sector, like you have said, we have to look for our own way. And concerning taboos, it is real, but most people, due to religious fanaticism rather, and due to their new change of orientation, you know, believing that no, all those things are just and are not there, you know, we realize that they are now thinking, assuming that taboos are not real. But at the end of the day, these things are very real for everybody, for every man, for every making. You even see, yeah, they'll say it's superstition, exactly. Thank you very much, Rafe. So now, you any allergy and so on and so on. I don't know if I have any allergy. I've not realized, I've not noticed though. Probably, but probably not. So, but also we have things like that. At least we're not saying the Oyibo allergy is spiritual, but because our lifestyle, our life Every part of us is infused in everything. Everything is everything. Everything works together with everything. If you alter one, you alter all. That is how we are as Africans. Now, if we talk about how also these people have affected our health sector, is it in the generator they brought in? Yeah, we know electricity is good. Electricity is wonderful. But at the end of the day, if you look at the effect of all these things at the long run, it is not worth it. It is damaging our lives, reducing our lifespan, damaging the ozone layer, and so on. Is it the cars? Is it what more? We can talk about it all day. So, but now the health sector is deteriorating, and Africans are only, if you want to study nursing medicine now, if I tell someone, if you mistakenly tell someone that I'm studying medicine, I tell them they ask me maybe probably what kind of medicine or what aspect. I tell them tradomedical. Like you are in the field of tradomedicals, like tradomedical, they'll feel like, what is that? Because our traditional has been looked down upon, and religion has played a major role. Oyibo has played a major role, telling us. I was watching many YouTube videos how this thing, every corner of Yoruba land before had all those things, and they were selling big, and it was cheap. Everybody had health. Health is just at your fingertip. Apart from the fact that you're eating good food, like ajokeade said, she's eating leaves, and so much lemongrass. Hey, I can't remember the last time I saw lemongrass. If I want to get a I have to go to the market to buy something everybody used to have. Apart from the fact that these leaves, if you plant them around you, they help you with the atmosphere. They help you with oxygen. Because of the waste don't released into the atmosphere, they help you with all these. One, and consuming them alone is health to you. So, but now we don't have access to all that. Everything now. You see, bitter leaf, when they want to change bitter leaf, or when they've picked up bitter leaf. We make bitter leaf soup. We've been making it for years. We eat bitter leaf. We squeeze bitter leaf and drink the water. We've been doing this, but I think it's a new discovery. And do you know what they want to do to bitter leaf? They want to make it into a peel. I am not of. Personally, I have the opinion like we don't need to do that. In Africa, I'm not talking about that. Do you know, even those simplest method makes it accessible. By the time they make it into a pill, listen, one pill can become 100 naira. I'm just using that. And that one pill, if you go to the market, by the time you get your freshly cut bitter leaf, that's if you're buying it, or if you don't have it in your house, like ajokeade. So if you are buying it, if you buy 100 naira bitter leaf, it is worth more. It will do you more good than that pill. So this and that and this and that is enough things in our health sector. So, like we've said, like Duduspree is saying, Africans, we need to wake up. Like AYP, African Youth Parliament, is saying, nani, wanila, nani, that is a Yoruba word adage, or what will I call it, that my mom tells me a lot. So we should appreciate what we have, look for ways to rebrand it, look for ways to make it better. And this will help us a lot because, number one, it will reduce the cost. We won't have to spend so much on drugs. And fake. I've not seen how you make fake leaf, but fake pharmaceuticals. Customs, when I'm reading some news, custom officers arresting people, NAFDAC arresting people, NDLE arresting people for use of drugs. So we now go to how they are intentionally. Now, I was reading another news about, I don't know who brought it to me. I don't know how I got to the news, but I was reading about cigarettes. These cigarettes, they always tell you on the cigarette packs that smokers are liable to die young. Yes, they are very liable to die young, but they are producing it. One, they are letting it come to Africa. The number of smokers in Africa is annoyingly, it is too much. It is annoying. Because we now wonder, smokers, like, is it our government that is making, because they are making so much money from it, producing it, making sure people smoke. A puff of cigarette, that smoke, when you puff it out, it can stay for up to 8 minutes. On a traffic lane now, if one person puffs just one cigarette, it will stay there for a long period of time. It can travel many kilometers. It does not leave the atmosphere easily. It stays for a long time. So not to now, compared with how long it will stay in your lungs, it will stay there for a long period of time, damaging you, giving damaging effects. And about the how you get addicted to nicotine. But now they've seen that a little tamo cigarette is not selling because they want to move it away from the market now, Now they want to encourage people to now patronize marijuana. Marijuana now in the drug format, we know it has health benefit, but now they want to do. Let's say cigarette now will give birth to lung cancer. Lung cancer will be cured by Oyibo Abi. They are making money from that. And when you cancer, we've read books, I've read articles, I've watched videos that cancer can be cured. And I've even read Yoruba out and so that they feel like cancer. They can cause jejere and jejere lomanpe. They can easily cause it. It was very rare, but now it is everywhere. Cancer is everywhere. Tumor is everywhere. And those stuffs, they are now everywhere. We didn't used to have this. So now our health has been penetrated. So first, our health has been compromised by what we eat. Last week we spoke about what we eat. About what we eat now, our health has been compromised through that. Ooh, the kind of rice we eat now, parboiled rice that has been stored for days. Now, even we've seen videos where they are making rice with plastic. Damn, and people are consuming it. And a lot of things are going on. If only Africa could make it sure that we prepare our food, our drugs, our medications, we depend on ourselves for all these things. So, and it will be good. So, but that Africa I'm talking about, I'm not just talking about the government, I'm talking about you and me. I'm talking about the youth. We own the future, we control the future, we have access to the future. The future depends on us, it's on our shoulder. And the future of our children depends on what we do now. So if you sit down and sit still, man, you're going to be there. So I was discussing with people today, like my children, the way I raise my children, I'd be so surprised how my 7-year-old child would be at the farm. How my 8 years old, I was inspired on Thursday, and that inspiration, goes to ajokeade. So my son will go to the farm. My son will learn leaves. My son will know what this is used for, what that is used for. Me, I need exposure. We have exposure without this elewe exposure. My son will use atari, know how to use atari, and so on and so forth. That I talk about alligator pepper. I still don't understand why they call it alligator pepper. I do call it. So now, Africa, it is time to wake up. So the effect of colonialism is large and wide and big and deep. So, and it takes us to operate it and let it go back to where it came. So we know with the help of Olodumare and with your help, right? You working, doing what you have to do, we're sure everything will be all right. So on this note, we'd like to bring this meeting to an adjournment. We'll adjourn the meeting to the next time. We'll be here again. Thank you for listening to us. To everybody watching us live on YouTube, we say a very big thank you. We're here because of you. You're our audience and you're very precious to us. So everybody listening to us right now on Twitter, on Instagram, on duduspreeofficial, the first and only truly Pan-African radio, promoting Africa, promoting Africanism, promoting Pan-Africanism, promoting African growth, African dynamism, African roots. Thank you very much, Dudu Spree FM. A very big thank you to you. To every Dudu Spree out there, to every Dudu Pekin out there, we say a very big thank you. To every true African, we say a very big thank you. To everybody who has joined us on today's show, to you, Sci-Fi Legioluwa, for your contributions, we say a very big thank you. And to our wonderful ajokeade, we say a very big thank you too. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for giving to the world what you have. Thank you for giving to the future. To say a very big thank you. And to those that would like to donate to make this go forward, to make us come here every time, you can always send us our donation. It will be displayed as we speak. Kindly donate to us. With this, we can go far and wide and educate more people, open the eyes of many more people. So we really appreciate your donations, however they come in. And we say a very big thank you for that. So everybody who is donating to, we say a very big thank you. We love you and we love you very much. So today and next week, we'll be here again by 4:00 p.m. to talk on African Youth Parliament, on how we can improve Africa, on everything Africa. Once again, to Dudu Spree Media House, I say a very big thank you. I am your honorable host, Damai. Have a wonderful week. Yeah, you can call us. You can always call us on our line. You can always send us a text message on our line. This is displaying right now on your screen. You can see it there. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, any inquiries, kindly beep us. If you have any comment, leave it down there on the comment section of our YouTube page. Follow us on YouTube, Dudu Spree FM. Follow us everywhere, Dudu Spree Official rather. So follow us everywhere. We are everywhere. Yeah, just type Dudu Spree, you'll find us. Dudu Spree Official. And you can also download our app on the Play Store, the Google Play Store, Dudu Spray FM. You'll find us right there where you can listen to educative content 247, entertaining content, music, deep, inspiring music, and wonderful content, the wake up call, and so many of that of its like. Thank you very much for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend. Until next week, I am your honorable host, Damine.
United we stand, divided we fall, shebi you know.